Hey, ciao, this is your friend Enemy, and I'm here today with the first video of a small series of Loopstation, of live looping tutorial with our dear friend RC-505, yeah. So this is not a tutorial about the RC-505, it's about looping with the RC-505, with beatboxing, of course. So yeah, there are tons of tutorial that explains you how RC-505 works and how to set up everything, how does tracks works, how does effects work, how does the machine actually works. But for that, you have tons of tutorials, but most importantly, you have the manual, which is really, really important to read from the beginning to the end. If you have an RC-505, you probably have it with you. Otherwise, I'll put the link in the description of the official owner's manual of RC-505. So, as I said, this is going to be a live looping tutorial mostly for beatboxers. And today we're talking about drums. So the drum kit is one of the most important part of a modern track, all right? So we want to deal with it with a little bit more of attention than usual. When you record, but most of all perform, a Loopstation track with beatboxing, there is multiple approaches that you can have. The first one is just a linear beat. A linear beat basically means that you're not stacking sounds one on top of each other. You're not making layers with sounds. What you're doing is just recording a simple beat. Yeah, just... Enemy, please do that. All right, yeah, that's it. And that's perfectly fine. You can easily do that with some dynamics or some equalization. But today I'm going to put the focus on layering sounds. Ibarra was the first one to show me this. And this technique is really, really effective. You just have to practice and practice and practice until it comes natural and you become quick in recording a drum kit layering sound. And if you achieve that, that's one of the first steps to become a high-level looper. Exactly. So we want to layer individually every sound in order to give them all the shades that we want and all the frequencies that we want, and to be careful with each sound. So we want to start with hi-hats, for example, then we're going to go with the snares, and then with the kicks. For now, I'm just going to use dynamics for hi-hats and snares, live compression, oops. Yeah, let's see if that's true. Live compression, all right. And for the kick, I'm going to use a easy filter. I'm going to use filter in order to have a drier kick. And it's low pitch filter, rate 0, and the rest is more or less standard. All right. So what we want to do is layer sounds without wasting any time. Why is that so? Yeah, we really need to do this and practice this because in every show, in every battle, or whichever stage situation you will find yourself in, you really want the recording part not to be too boring. And the recording part is one of the most important part of an Loopstation track because you are building up everything and you want to be quick, but you also don't want to sound obvious or to just, first drums and then bass line and then melodies and then harmonies. You don't want to be schematic. You want to be as dynamic as possible. So this will really help you. And most of all, you will take your time to give every sound the right worth, the right value, the right space in the track. Exactly. So to show this, I'm going to start with the easy hip-hop beat, but you basically can choose, grooves from whichever music genre, from rock or from funk, techno. We will try different ones today, but I will start with this one. So dynamics for hi-hats and snares for the kick. You can really hear the difference between this and this. It's much more complete, right? Okay, now let's try with a different beat. Okay, so let's try with a techno beat. Great, now let's try with the drum and bass beat, should we? Okay, so let's go with drum and bass then. Did you see what happened here? Let's rewind a little bit. So what happens here is basically I record the hi-hats, and then in just one recording action, okay, so from one click to the other click, I do both the snares and the kick in order to have one layer in which I have all of that. And in this way, I can take it away, This way, I can just take the whole layer away when I want with the undo button. And that will help me to be able to be more dynamic in the track and take it away and then bring it back when the track has to drop. So that's a really useful tip right there. Exactly. So as we said earlier, you can have different approaches in putting effect on drums. I personally have put dynamics here, and I think filter here, yeah. But there's many different approaches, so I choose to layer sounds individually. You can just use dynamics, whichever compression. There's different ones. You can find the one that fits your beats the most, and I'm gonna stay with the live compression, and you can go just and that's okay, that's completely fine. Or you can do as me and layer sounds and give each sound the proper effect. You can use dynamics here for hi-hats and snares. You can easily go with chorus, and this will add a little bit more, body to your kick, to your hi-hats, to your snares. Yeah, you can have multiple effects on drum. You can put dynamics. You can try with every different compression, every different limiter you have in dynamics. And then you have equalization. So you have to really experiment with your sound because your sounds are really unique and you have your own unique frequencies, even though we all do the mostly the same, but everyone has different little shades of their sounds. So with equalizer, you really have to find your own frequency. You just have to stay there and try to level up or level down every frequency available on the equalizer of the Loopstation. For a kick, I usually prefer to stay with filter, but also I've seen people using guitar to bass as an enhancer for the bass frequencies of the kick. You can use this with the P kick, or also with the throat kick. So like, I don't know. Oh yeah, this is a problem I always have. Like when you record, this is the one. Nah, fuck it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the red one is the 1. All right. And when you record, you expect. When you record a short track like this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually it's later. You feel it as it's 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's later. So you have to be careful when you do this kind of stuff. Layering to kick is not suggested here. Then you have that little reverb thing. So we want to go on filter, put HBF, high pitch, put the rate to 0, and our resonance to about 90. Then we're going to go from filter to phaser just for a second, and to filter again to reset the rate.
Please, Enemy, explain them how it works.
Yeah, so basically what the rate does in the filter effect of the RC-505, it basically goes like this, okay? So wow, 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 wow. So basically when you're moving up, the rate is gonna be wow, 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 and so on and so on. But if you take it down, it will go wow until you put it to 0 and it will just stop wherever it is. All right, so that's variable. You don't really have the control of where it stops. So in order to be sure that you have it like this, always like this, you just go once on fader and then on filter, and that will reset the wub, the rate, okay?
Exactly. So we have the filter here. We're gonna put the cutoff at about between 8 and 14, and we're gonna use the dry kick. See, there's some cool frequencies going on. They're not that high right now. They're not really hearable. So I'm gonna just put some equalization with some low boost in it. And that's a really good enhancer for the kick, good bass sound. Okay. With a normal filter. Then cover the sounds with this. You probably have to wear headphones to hear this properly, but it makes a huge difference to have this kind of kick. It's really more powerful and more fat.
So this was the first tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been useful. Write on the comments if you really want, I don't know, any other particular topic, or if I can improve something in my videos. And please like, share, subscribe, and remember Patreon, because without all these guys, I couldn't be here making videos and doing what I love. So please consider being my Patreon and support the artists and their creator that you love. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.